Take it away. I'm taking it away. I'm Frances McGarry, and I think there are so many things that I took away. I think the thing I took away the most was the vision to just keep going from Ted Chapin. Just keep going. Hi, Georgia. What are you going to take away?
What did you take away from this wonderful evening that you participated in?
Oh, thank you. I liked the concept for their musical, that all the colors are inside you. I'm going to think about that for a little while.
I'm in a record. Sorry, I just came to New York because I really admire Broadway people.
Yes.
Yes, and sorry.
Okay, that's good.
That's great. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
June Rachelson-Ospa. I took away feeling very connected to everybody, and it was so great to be able to meet other people that are part of the movement that I'm part of as a lyricist and book writer.
I'm Allison Brewster-Franzetti. I think, first of all, the range of women presenting here this evening was positively extraordinary and very, very inspiring, and everybody is so bright and has so many good things to say, so many insights, such a wealth of experience, and so much to offer, not just for theater, but I think for creative art in general. And so it really gives me a lot of more inspiration and faith in the entire creative process and in people being true to themselves and what their vision is and what their path is.
Pamela Hunt. I'm co-president, I believe. What I took away from this evening was a lot of what I already know because I've been involved in new pieces. But it was interesting what Ted had to say. And, it's just interesting because I've worked with him in other capacities, and he really, what really makes the money are the things that have been in his catalog for a long time. And that's, if you can write like a classic and get it produced and get it out there, I think it does good. But it's just interesting how, and the women thing, but I thought that was interesting, what you had to say, Carmel and Georgia, and it's still that thing of being a woman. As a director, I've had it for years, but it's interesting to hear from people where you might perceive they have more power because you're writing the piece, but not necessarily, because you got everybody else to deal with. Like you had the Carmel and the music director that decided to take over. So I think there's always people that want to take over, and you can't let them.
Carmel Owen. I guess what I took away was the potential for sharing the issues that we all deal with as composer lyricists, because we live in a small world and it's very competitive and we rarely communicate. And so for me it was the first time in all the years that I've been writing and stuff that I've ever been on a panel like this or with a group. So I just found it very inspiring to hear their stories and how they related to my experiences. And I so appreciated the League and Ivy and everyone on the committee for thinking of women as composer lyricists.
Pamela Golinsk. I just was inspired by the energy, and I'm glad to see people are out there working, creating, and moving ahead.
My name's Wendy Peace. We're still all struggling as women to feel comfortable asserting ourselves, and we did talk about how it is becoming better, and I think each generation it's getting better, but to feel okay to say no, or to feel okay to say this is what I want, this is what I need, and that doesn't mean you're a bitch. That means that you're saying what you want or what you need, and it feels good to hear other women who are extremely successful still having these doubts. Not that I want them to have that voice in their head, but it just feels to know you're not alone, because if we already have the outside world kind of not always embracing us and bashing us slightly, we don't need to bash ourselves up. So the fact that we can come together and express that with each other and say, okay, but we need to move past that. And so it just feels good to be in a room of like-minded women, people who are having similar experiences, but are trying to do something to move past it. And so it feels very supportive. And so again, just kind of knowing that support is out there, and that's what's so great about the League, is that you find it everywhere you turn. And so that was my biggest takeaway from today.
I'm Ivy Austin. There are a lot of incredible women out there who are busy making music, writing lyrics, creating songs on their own or with their collaborators, and this evening was a gift just to give those people a voice. And I wish it had gone on another hour because there are so many specific questions and so many areas that need to be addressed. But we did what we could in one jam-packed hour.
I'm Donna Moore. Well, first thing I take away is about, what an honor it is to meet so many women like yourselves who are making this happen, and, it's really important to get to know everybody and not be just a lone wolf. Right. A wolf-tress. So, I'm glad to know it's here, and I like the idea of mentoring. I think that's something really special. And I think this is like a sisters in arms.
Yes.
Helping each other out, which I think is really just a beautiful thing. Yeah. So I didn't really know that much about the league, but I will.
Well, they have to give you some information because it's very supportive. So.
Yeah. And I'd like to, I believe in giving back too. So if there's anything I can do to support other people, I'll do it.
Amy Spanza.
It's wonderful evening.
I took away learning about the financial side too of the business, and the importance of having a collaboration contract if you're working with somebody on a piece, so that you get that out of the way so you can get to the business of creating. And I never really knew that much about the writer, composer, lyricist part of it, and having directed a bunch of shows for high school and using Rodgers and Hammerstein, you forget about, you just like, I want to, picking the show, but thank God it's there, really.
Right.
And I'm really happy to meet the women who are creating this next generation of work, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thank you.
My name is Anna Grossman. It was a great look into sort of the business of the industry, especially for composers and lyricists, and that's what I took away, a bit more knowledge about the business.
My name is Catherine Elliott.
And what did you take away from this wonderful evening?
That there are many brilliant women working in music in this industry, and that we need to have more of them be on stage, working, making money.
I am Rashada Abrams, and I took away, to quote Donna, that I want to continue being a high-functioning human. And I also appreciate what Pamela said, fake it until you make it. But I definitely want to continue being a high-functioning human. There's a lot of work out here, and we as women, we as human beings, have the capacity to do it.
Michael Harrington. I identified a lot with what was being said, and I realized that they aren't just women's problems.
Hi, I'm Lizzie Bryce. I took away from this evening that putting a musical together is one of the most collaborative art forms that you can do. More than anything else, there are so many moving components and pieces, and so it's very important to have everything in place to respect one another when moving forward and creating something so large with so many pieces.
Elizabeth Strauss. A lot of amazing women and men who have been persevering in theater, primarily in music and composition, and how, as such a young person, there are a lot of goals to achieve, and that they've paved the way for me.